Flowers in the Attic by Cleo Virginia Andrews. It is a gothic novel, which I highly recommend. You guys, welcome. This is Check That Book, where we get acquainted with the most disturbing books ever written. Surprisingly, Flowers in the Attic was listed as one of the most disturbing books ever. And on one hand, you can see why, take into account the subject matter, and the key themes in the novel. But on the other hand, I, I I kind of disagree. It is, after all, a gothic novel. Some might find it truly disturbing, but I would categorize it as beginner's level of disturbing. As for the book itself, it is a very interesting read. It's been a while since I looked at the so-called Dolanganga series. Uh, that's the name it now has, because it's the family name of the protagonists. The author has claimed that everything, well, depicted in the story is not truly fiction, quote unquote. I However, there's never been any proof found that it has some true events behind it, but it might, because, well, on this channel as well, we've seen and discussed some of the most fucked up books ever written so far that were based on true events or were downright autobiographies. So it's possible. It's possible. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't believe the author. I do. I mean, why not? I've read and seen and experienced some crazy shit. If you know about these particular series, I mean, Flowers in the Attic is considered to be the most disturbing of the Dolanganga series, and, well, yeah, I mean, you have subjects such as incest, you know, captivity, imprisonment, shit like that, abuse, child abuse, physical, just, plain physical child abuse, and but alongside that, there's a really complicated and sick story that is not sick because it's very descriptive. I wouldn't say it's descriptive. I just finished rereading Flowers in the Attic. I read the entire series a long time ago. It's not my favorite series, but I do appreciate it, and it was an interesting read. I really do appreciate it. it it's it's kind of a twisted tale of one family that has very disturbing dynamics. Now that I've mentioned the key disturbing points, very briefly the plot, so that you would, understand what the fuss is about. Basically, we have our main four main characters who find themselves in a rather unpleasant and traumatizing situation when they have to live in the attic because of certain events that happened around them even before they were born, because of their mother and her questionable choices in life. But yeah, um so just that's just basically it, but very basically, you guys, you should read this book if you want an interesting, intense read without it being overly descriptive. I didn't find it disgusting. I found it interesting. So again, it brings me back to that moment when I said I don't quite realize why this book is on the list. But again, it's kind of a beginner level disturbing. It's more intense and interesting, at times shocking, than it is disturbing, but shocking in a different way. Like I said, questionable choices, the mother's behalf mainly. And yeah, weird dynamics that I mean, you can't really understand them unless you are a psychologist, maybe. So yeah, nobody really does any harm to the children but their own mother and grandmother. Fun family dynamics, am I right? Flowers in the Attic has been adapted into a movie a couple of times, quite successfully so. I highly recommend you check them out. Reading this book, it's like 600 something pages. It's a pretty thick read, and it's very very interesting. Honestly, up until the final pages, I didn't really expect um, what I should have expected. Actually, I mean, and it sounds so bizarre, but that's exactly how it made me feel. I expected something different, but once the ending hits you, you were like, ah, damn, I should have seen that coming. That's a very bizarre feeling, and I liked it. It really hit you hard, like on a different level. Not like it's overly disturbing and disgusting and gritty, and no, it was different. It was, wow, that kind of an effect. Okay, and then you feel anger. I did. I was so pissed at the ending. Not in a bad way. I mean, again, it made me emotional. It made me feel something finally towards the end of the book. Because throughout the entire book, yeah, I mean, I felt sorry for the four children who got stuck in that attic eh, because their grandmother set a certain boundary for them not to step over. I mean, they must not be heard, they must not be seen, they must be quiet at all times. And two of the four children are wee twins, 5 years of age. I mean, how can you keep those bastards quiet? Am I right? So yes, in my not so humble opinion, that is a good disturbing book. I mean, again, with it being disturbing, I mean, it's a bit of a stretch there, but it does fit into the category, much like The Exorcist, albeit The Exorcist, in my opinion, is more of a horror novel, which it is categorized as. But again, I Google you guys the list of the most disturbing books ever written. If you have your own disturbing book recommendations, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. Much obliged. As for this one, Flowers in the Attic, it was a surprise finding it on the recommended disturbing books list, but here we are. I think it fits the bill, but again, even if you're not into the disturbing genre, you most likely will find this book interesting and a truly gripping read that will make those 600 pages go like that. This one is light, but fucked up nonetheless, in its own special way. Read it and find out. I thank you so much for watching. If you like disturbing content, consider giving this video a boost in a form of an erect thumb and a subscription, perhaps. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Take good care of yourself and your loved ones. And I will see you soon. Bye.